Hello everybody, my name is Chef Rob. Welcome. Today we're going to make a German dish. We're going to make a chicken schnitzel with a sour cream mushroom sauce. So we'll have a lot of flavor going through it, a lot of steps to it, but once you do it once, it's very, very quick. So you can use chicken cutlets, you can use chicken tenders, you can use the chicken on the bone, and then just of course just take it off. Boneless chicken thighs, any of it will work with this. Today I'm going to use the chicken tenders, and what I want to do is I'm using 8 of them. This is going to serve 4, so I'm figuring 2 of these are pretty large tenders, as you can see. So I am just going to kind of space these out, and you always want to check the chicken over to make sure that a little piece like this that is very, very tough. So we're going to take that out. We'll take our knife, cut that out. Some of them will have it left on, some won't. But not something that you really want to have in your mouth, okay, because it's very tough. So now we're going to put some plastic wrap on top. And what that will do is we're going to pound this out to tenderize it. And that will prevent it from splattering all over, because you do really want to watch any type of poultry, any pork, beef, when you are kind of tenderizing it, so that way it will not go all over your living room, or kitchen I should say. So just like that, about a 1/4 inch thick. And it does the job really, really well. Make sure it's very even, so you can kind of check these before you are ready to put them in the pan, that they all got pretty much pounded out nice and evenly. And this will make it a little more tender as well. Okay, that is perfect. Get rid of this right away. Even though this just touched plastic, you never know if something got through to it, so always put it in the dishwasher. Okay, really important. So I'm going to leave this chicken right here. I want to tell you what schnitzel is. It is a thin slice of meat that is fried in fat, and usually thin by pounding, which what we just did, and we will bread it before we fry it. So typically schnitzel is done that way. Usually it is done with veal, chicken, or pork. Okay, so we're going to make up a breading station right now. I'm going to take 1 cup of the plain breadcrumbs and just put them right on here, like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 eggs, just crack them, that right in here, and we're just going to add about 2 tablespoons of water, and that will just kind of thin this out just a little bit. And always just take a little fork and just kind of beat it up really well. You definitely have to make this for your family, your friends, because it is really so tasty. And now we are going to add 3/4 of a cup of flour. And we're just going to put that right here. So you have a little station going on right here. Okay, perfect. I'm going to start heating the canola oil. Use about a 1/4 cup, and we're going to get it to a pretty high heat, but we don't want it smoking. Okay, we don't want to burn the breaded chicken. So let's just turn this on, about a 1/4 cup, just about until it would cover the bottom of the pan. And you could take it and just go like that. So I am going to turn on my burner. And now we're going to bread the chicken. We're going to get it nice and crisp. Take about 4 minutes each side. Always, everybody's pounding of the chicken and height will be a little different. It's very important that it's 165 before you finish. Okay. Okay, so we're going to start breading our chicken, but we are just going to add a couple twists of black pepper and a pinch of kosher salt throughout it. And just kind of give that a good mix, just like that. And now let's start breading our chicken. Either use tongs, use a fork, or if you have gloves like myself, it will work well. I can feel the canola oil is getting nice and hot, so I am going to move right along on this. And what the egg will actually do is it has the protein in it, so that will actually let the breadcrumbs form a nice crust. Okay, so that's why it's very important to always put it in egg batter first. Okay, so you just dip it right in there, right on here, and I can feel that the oil is nice and hot. So I am going to put these right in the pan. If you need to do 2 separate batches, you do 2 separate. You don't want too much in there, because otherwise it will sweat on you, and then you won't get a nice crisp covering. Do this one here. When you're using eggs and you are making an omelet, you have to remember that the omelet isn't the star. It is the filling that is really the star in this. So that you would add a little bit of water into the eggs. When you're just having scrambled eggs, you want to make sure that you put in either heavy cream, you want to put in half and half, or regular milk. And what that does will make it nice and fluffy, nice and rich and thick. Okay, so different reasons why to use the egg when you're making omelets. And if you have to add a little more breadcrumb, just do so. So let's finish up these chicken tenders. Put it into the egg batter, into the breadcrumbs. Again, 4 minutes each side. You can always press a little bit right on there. Okay. I should have enough room in this pan. This is a 12-inch pan, so I got a pretty large pan going here. And the last one right here. So 3/4 of a cup of flour usually works out just perfect for this. Okay, and don't forget, put that water in the egg with it. About 2 tablespoons for 2 eggs. So we're going to let this cook about 4 minutes each side until it forms a nice crust. And then we're just going to put it on some paper towels just to get any excess fat off of it. Make sure they're spread out good because you want them to make sure they're cooked in all the different spots. So you can kind of make sure they're separated just like that. Okay, I'm going to put it on like a medium high. Right now what I'm going to do is I am going to slice my mushrooms. So before I slice the mushrooms, I do want to show everybody, you always want to take the little end off right here. Just slice these. Okay, before you do that though, you want to wash them. You don't want to give them a bath. You want to just give them a quick shower because you don't want them to absorb the water. Because if you absorb the water, it is going to create a rubbery texture on the mushroom. So we're going to spray these right now, dry them, and then slice them. Let's check our chicken. I want to make sure it's a nice crust on the bottom. That is exactly the way you want it. And if they turn over really nice and easily, you pretty much know you have a nice crust there. Okay, so while this is going to be cooking on the other side, we are going to slice up the mushrooms so that way we can prepare them, and that will be ready to make the sour cream mushroom sauce. This is a really, really good German dish, something that you would find like at a German festival. Some sauteed red cabbage with this would be really, really good. Perfect. A little on the heavier side, but you can always, the red cabbage will lighten it up and kind of freshen it really good. But try to use real fresh red cabbage, okay, to make this. Okay, we get that there. We are just going to take these stems off, using about an 8-ounce package of the sliced mushrooms. You can use the regular white button ones, or you can use the criminy mushrooms. Either ones would be fine. Again, you just want to make sure that these are nice and dry but they do get their shower. So we have a lot of different YouTube videos coming up. We have a lot of spring ones coming up soon, and then we're going to go right into summer. Check out our Irish soda bread or Irish soda bread muffin one. Okay, so we are just going to leave these mushrooms on the side. And to make the sauce, I'm going to use a little bit of butter, just a couple tablespoons of butter, a little bit of garlic, a little chicken broth, sour cream, and a little Worcestershire sauce. So that will make it a really flavorful sauce. And then we will put this onto a platter. We'll pour the sauce right over the top of it, and chop some fresh parsley and put it right on top. It'll be delicious. It really will. So our chicken is done. So while I am making the sauce, I'm just going to put this on some paper towels here just to get any of that excess oil off of it. I'm going to put it in a 200 oven just to keep warm because I don't want to overcook it. But the sour cream mushroom sauce will just take a couple minutes, and then we will pour the sauce right over the chicken. And the last one. So you just take this pan, put it to the side. Gonna take this, now that they are drained, put them right on here. And then again, a 200 oven, and it's just gonna be for maybe 10 minutes. It's just really gonna keep them warm. Even if you just wanted to put aluminum foil over the top, that would be fine as well. Okay, let's add our 2 tablespoons of butter. Just get that to where it's the melted point. And then we're going to add in our sliced mushrooms. Again, that's about 8 ounces to 10 ounces is good. Okay, you just kind of take this. So as soon as the bottom is covered, that is when you can start adding in the mushrooms here. And now we're going to put a little bit of kosher salt, a little black pepper on it. Kosher salt will just make them sweat and cook a little quicker. So we're going to let this cook for a few minutes, and then we'll add in the fresh chopped garlic with it. I just want to get them a little softer. Okay, so you can kind of mix them around, make sure they're spread out so they cook nice and evenly. So the mushrooms are getting cooked. They still need a little bit. They're still a little bit firm, but always give them a nice toss in here. I'm going to add in some fresh chopped garlic. Okay, about 1 to 2 cloves, depending on how much garlic you really enjoy. While that is cooking, I want to take my fresh Italian parsley because I want to garnish this at the end with the Italian parsley. Make sure you rinse it, wash it really well. And I'm just going to take some and give it a nice chop. And then we'll have that ready so we can enjoy dinner right away. Okay, and then you put that over there and just kind of give this a nice rough chop. Perfect. So that is good. We just want this garlic cooking for about 30 seconds, and then we're going to add in some chicken broth. We'll reduce that down. The chicken broth is about 1 cup. You can make your own chicken broth, with a little of the bouillon cubes, a little of the chicken base, or if you have the boxed kind of chicken broth, that is fine as well. Try to go a little low sodium. I use the chicken base. It has a lot of sodium in there, but I'm able to take a little bit at a time and kind of keep the salt down. But the salt, flavor enhancer, so we'll bring out this flavor a lot in this dish, okay, in all dishes. This is looking really, really good. I'm going to put in my 1 cup of chicken broth. Now I'm going to let this cook for a few minutes. I want it to reduce. by a third. So you will notice it will start kind of boiling down. I'm going to cook it on a pretty high temperature. And then we have our Worcestershire to add it to this. And we're also going to add in our sour cream. When we add the sour cream, you can add the full fat sour cream or the reduced fat, but the fat free won't work with this dish, okay? And before we add the sour cream at the very end, we want to kind of put this dish on the side, kind of let some of that steam come out, let the sauce cool a little bit, and then we just kind of bring in the sour cream so it doesn't curdle in it. And then we'll pour it right over our chicken tenders that are waiting in the 200-degree oven right now. Okay? Okay, we are just going to add in 1 tablespoon of the Worcestershire sauce. It actually will give it a really nice flavor. Make sure it's all mixed really good. And then we're just going to let this turn this off, let it cool just a little bit. Just give it 5 minutes to let some of that steam come out. And then we'll bring the sour cream in there and it'll give a really nice rich sauce. And we'll pour it right over the chicken schnitzel. Okay. Sauce reduced by about a third. So it is starting to get thick, but you still want it to be liquidy because when you add the sour cream, that is what is going to cause it to become a nice creamy texture over it. So I'm going to let this cool. In the meantime, I'm going to get my chicken out of the 200-degree oven, put it on the platter, and then it will be time to whisk in the sour cream, pour the sauce right over it, and you have a beautiful dinner. I hope you'll enjoy this. Chicken's out of the oven, just letting that rest right there. I am going to add in my sour cream to this. About a third of a cup. It's about what you need. And just kind of gradually mix this in here. Do it off the burner because you don't want it to overly cook. So I'm going to put my chicken on this platter here. Just going to set it up like if we were doing a platter for just for 2 dinners. I'll put this, that. And I'm going to leave the others on the side until I'm ready to enjoy them. Then I'll put the sour cream sauce on it. My sour cream sauce, now that all the sour cream is blended in here really good, I actually want it just a little bit thicker. Okay, just so it really coats that. So I'm just going to put this on a medium heat, reduce it down just a couple minutes, and then we'll pour it right over it. A little more sour cream will always help thicken it, especially the full fat sour cream will make it a thicker sauce too. Okay. So I'm just going to take half of this sauce and I'm going to put it on my 4 pieces because we are enjoying these 4 right now, and I will save the other sauce to heat up when we are going to have the other chicken schnitzels. The mushrooms in this make it so delicious with the sour cream. A little sauce right there. If you have a little bit, you want to make a little dumplings of that, it would be really, really good. Just spread that all over, make it look beautiful. And then you have a beautiful chicken mushroom sour cream schnitzel. I hope you enjoy this. I hope you all stay well, and thank you for always watching my videos. Have a great day. So goodbye, yellow brick